Today I'm going to be talking with you guys about staying motivated in medicine. Medicine is so hard to stay motivated and there's so many challenges throughout the journey. And on top of it, now we have COVID. And I feel like with the unpredictability with COVID, it makes things so much more challenging. It makes relaxing much more hard. And I'm going to give you guys tips and tricks that I use to stay motivated throughout the journey, and even that I'm currently using now to stay motivated during my residency. If you're looking for tips and advice about the journey in medicine, subscribe to my channel now. And if you want to get to know me a little bit better, follow me on Instagram at therealskinmn_MD. So let's get started. So the first tip is make sure that you're still keeping up with the things that make you happy. I think that's so important because it's helping to relieve some stress. It's helping to make you feel better about life. My second tip is picking up a hobby. I know with COVID, a lot of the things that made us happy, we probably can't do, depending on what state you're in, or you just don't feel comfortable doing because of COVID. Like, for example, I love going to the gym. And I just don't even feel comfortable going back, even if they're thinking about opening up the gyms in my state. Or they probably already did. I don't even know because I'm not going. So one of the things that I started doing is looking for little trails around my area, going there and exercising and just walking around sometimes and just sightseeing. And I'm learning so much about my neighborhood and loving it. And then also, as you guys know, my other hobby now is talking to you guys on YouTube. So picking up a hobby is great. It spices things up. It introduces you to new things and it makes you learn new things about yourself. It's a great way to just put a little spunk into your normal day and your normal day routine, especially with so many limitations that we have with COVID. My next tip is being realistic about life. Every day would not be a good day. You are going to have hard days and things are just going to seem so difficult. You're going to have test days. You're going to have tests that you feel disappointed about. You're going to go into your rotations and maybe come across like an attending who may say something that may belittle your spirits. You might be an intern right now and intern year is just... every day could be a potential challenge. Then in the rest of your residency programs, there's going to be challenges and ways you disappoint yourself, mistakes that you make. Every day won't be a good day, but being realistic with that sets realistic expectations. Like, you're just going to tell yourself, today was a bad day, but tomorrow's another day. Every day is a new day to start over. And that leads into my next tip about being kind to yourself and forgiving to yourself. We're allowed to make mistakes. We're allowed to feel down on ourselves, but you just have to accept the fact that that's part of life and allow yourself to just be human. For those of us in the medical field or trying to be in the medical field, a lot of us want perfection. A lot of us thrive off of succeeding, and we have to know that sometimes there's going to be failures, and that's okay. My next tip is definitely for the people who are studying a lot, even myself, is taking a break. Medicine is so huge that at the end of the day, you can study every single day, all day, every day, and still not know everything. You're human. We need to eat. We need to maintain our homes. We need to be able to enjoy the sunlight. We need to be able to socialize with our friends. We have to do so many different things. I had to even tell myself that because, like I was telling you guys, I've been really struggling with keeping up with my reading and feel like I work all day and I study all day and like just very few little times I'm able to do something that's for me. And I'm like, no, I need to do a little bit more for myself. I need to have a day really for myself. So make sure you're just taking those breaks. Taking a break also means taking a break sometimes from the rest of the world. There's so much going on in the world right now. I feel like every time I turn on the news, there's something just so disheartening, so upsetting, and of course, COVID. And sometimes just like not turning on the news for a little bit and then staying away from social media, because even with social media, you see all the things happening in the world and you're just like, it just drains your spirits. So that's why if you're just taking in all my tips and just like taking a break, like when I said I picked up a hobby and I'm like going around like in my neighborhood and looking for like nice scenic trails, I'm just disconnecting from the world when I'm doing that, and I'm doing something that makes me happy. And then when I come home and I need to like study and focus again on dermatology, I'm a little bit more focused and excited about doing it. And don't get me wrong, you still have to stay informed, but just like a day, just disconnecting, or maybe like a week, or I know some people delete their social media from like Monday to Friday and look at it on the Saturday and Sunday. It's up to you guys, because especially for a lot of us, we follow a lot of influencer pages, and with influencer pages and even our own friends pages, a lot of people's lives look so perfect on social media. I'm just like, how are you in med school and your room just looks so perfect? And how are you in intern year and just like looking so perfect? Like in my intern year, like you barely would see pictures. I looked a hot mess throughout most of it. Social media makes you feel like you're so inadequate. And that's another reason why you should just take a break sometimes, because a lot of those pages are just not realistic. And most of us are struggling just like you. That leads to my next tip of not comparing yourself to other people. That's hard, I know, but you are not anybody else. You know your weaknesses, you know your strengths, you know what makes you happy, you know what doesn't make you happy. A lot of times it's just so easy to compare ourselves, especially with social media. And I just think that if we just are realistic with ourselves, believe in ourselves, and trust in ourselves, that it will be easier. We can compare ourselves all day. And really, if we compare ourselves all day long to other people, there are going to be people who are just naturally are better at things than us. And that's okay. You are you, and that's what makes you great. That's it. Just tell yourself that. And just work on your weaknesses, work on yourself. That's going to take me to my next tip. With working on yourself, set goals, set realistic goals, and go ahead and try to achieve them, because then you're able to pay attention to how you are improving yourself. Take life a day at a time, especially during a time such as COVID, where we just don't know what our world is going to look like in, let's say, like December. Every single day is another day to achieve your goals. So, make vision boards, make a list for yourself. It doesn't really matter how you do it. Like I have a board in this room where I just have like goals for what I want to do for this month and then for the rest of this year. Like you guys should definitely do the same. And then you're able to recognize your progress. And I think that's just so helpful to boosting morale, making sure realizing how great you're doing. Because when we're thinking about like the bigger picture things, like a lot of times we're just like focused on the bigger picture, that we don't realize the little things that we're doing throughout our days. That's like pretty amazing. Reward yourself for the little things that you are getting done. All your little steps that you're taking right now throughout your journey are going to accumulate into a huge goal that's accomplished. And then of course, you have to visualize your goals. Like you actually have to see yourself at the end goal. Believe that you can make it to the end goal. If you don't have that end goal and believe you can reach that end goal, challenges could easily throw you off your path. The down and out days can definitely make you quit. The next tip is keeping positive people around you. I probably say this in a lot of my other videos. The people who you keep around is the energy that you will have. And if you have people who are stressing out just like you, being negative just like you, it's not going to help you whatsoever. And this is why I tell people, like, don't go on websites like Reddit and, a lot of the Facebook groups where they're just like all stressing out and not being positive. Like, are the posts where people will post something and then everyone's like supporting them. Make sure that's what you're going on, and not in a rut of everyone being negative, because that will just kill your whole spirits. Make sure that your loved ones, your friends are positive people. Like I said, when I'm feeling down, I definitely hit up my mom, I hit up my friends, and they just always make me feel better. My boyfriend is always hyping me up. Like, make sure you got those people in your life, because like I said, with being realistic, it's just that every day is not going to be a great day. You are allowed to not feel great and feel unmotivated, but the people in your life are definitely the ones that are going to keep you uplifted. So make sure that they're positive. My last tip is a tip that I'm always stressing, that if you realize that you are not getting out of a rut, if you are feeling down, if you are not eating, if you are feeling sad all the time, if you just can't focus and you're just feeling like you're not yourself, talk to a professional. A lot of times we ignore our signs of depression, our signs of anxiety, and because we're just so focused and just wanting to be perfect and succeeding. But taking care of your mental health is super important. And once you get it under control, can definitely just change your whole outlook on everything. In my med school, we actually had a mental health department specifically for med students and graduate students, because they knew how many of us are affected by this. So there is no shame, okay? So those are all my tips. Take some of them and really put it into fruition, because I really think these are the things that got me through my medical journey and definitely is getting me through my residency, especially with this crazy old COVID. If this was really helpful, make sure you press that like button, subscribe to my channel, and like I said, you could definitely keep up with me on my Instagram at therealskinI'min_MD. If you have any questions, you want to give me feedback, you want me to talk about a specific topic, leave a comment below. Okay? Y'all have a good one. Bye.